everyone. I'm Emily Rose Heyer. I am an integrative mind body coach for moms, and I wanted to share with you just the top 3 lessons I learned as a new mom. And I really hope that these can help you on your motherhood journey. I've learned a lot in my motherhood journey. My son is now 4.5 years old, and I had him in 2019, right before the pandemic, right before we decided to move across the country, after only being married to my husband for a short time. And we have just gone through a lot of experiences in the last 5 years. And so becoming a mom has been the greatest gift of my life, and also one of the hardest journeys I've been on. I think the hardest, because it has taught me so much. It has stripped me down to my most vulnerable and raw state. And for someone that has been taught to be highly independent and a go-getter, make it happen kind of person, having to really step back and melt into motherhood has been difficult and really a blessing. So here are my top 3 lessons. And with each lesson are probably like 25 other lessons, but I'm going to get into that in additional videos. So for now, if you're a new mom or you know a new mom, share this video with them. The main thing I want all new moms to know is to learn how to ask for and how to receive help. And I know this sounds really basic, and there seems to be a lot of people around you when you become pregnant who want to help. But it is one thing to actually ask for the help that you need, the specific help that you need, and actually receive it when someone wants to give you that help. So, like I just mentioned, I was very independent. I was single for most of my 20s, off and on with, some various relationships. But I met my husband when I was 29. And we got married, about a year and some change later. So I was pretty set in my ways, pretty independent. I was also a recovering people pleaser. I had been taught to give to everyone else, to help other people, and I loved it. But it also conditioned me to not accept help from people. It was very, very hard growing up and into my 20s, taking on the burden of life on my own, but I didn't understand that there was a different way. So becoming a mom, like I mentioned, really just strips you down to your most vulnerable state. And if you try to hold on to that independence and individuality, you're going to be very sorry. Things will start to break down. Your relationship with yourself, your relationships with your partner and your family, your friends, you will feel so isolated because you have a hard time asking for help. If that's you, I will be doing some other videos on specifics on how to ask for help and why you have a hard time asking for help. But that's my number one lesson, is ask for help and receive it. There are people around you who want to genuinely help. And if you're holding them at an arm's length because you think that you should do it all yourself, then you're missing out on rest and recuperation that you need as a new mother. All right, so number 2, this goes right in line with that. It's learning what true self-care is. So a lot of times people think that self-care means lovely bubble baths and getting a pedicure and manicure, or go getting, a drink with a friend, or going on a vacation, things kind of like on a surface level that seem like rest or seem like a gift to yourself. But a lot of times we miss out on like real self-care in a nourishing way that only you can give to yourself. And it ties back into asking for help, because as a mother, you have to have help from other people to be able to mother yourself and to give to yourself. So when I was a new mom, I had a really hard time asking uh, to be able to go take a shower. I don't know why this was so, I mean, I do know why now, but I didn't know why at the time this was so hard for me. It's basic hygiene. It shouldn't be this like bonus self-care thing. Like a vacation for moms shouldn't be getting to shower alone or remembering to brush their teeth on a regular basis. It shouldn't be having a meal by themselves. These shouldn't be like bonuses and things that you have to beg and plead for. You should be able to say, I'm going to go take a shower. I have to go take care of myself, hold the baby. I'll be back in 10 minutes. But that was so difficult for me. I felt like I was burdening my husband. I felt like I couldn't be selfish. I should just wait a couple days until I really needed a shower. Like really silly thoughts that were happening. But at the time it felt very real and very burdensome for me to really take care of myself, to eat properly, to make sure I was drinking enough water, especially because I was breastfeeding, to really get help to have rest and give myself rest times. I was not sleeping enough at all. I was also overextending myself to please other people and my families and my friends to make sure they got to see the baby and to show up for things. And I didn't take care of myself and say, no, we're just going to stay home. No, I don't want any visitors today. No, I don't feel like talking on the phone. I just thought I needed to be there for other people and I needed to show off my baby because everyone wanted to see him. So I had to learn over years, which was way too long to learn this lesson, to really take care of myself first or with my child. I always say this to moms. It's not that you need to take care of yourself first all the time. It's that you're taking care of yourself alongside taking care of your child or asking for the help that you need so that someone else can take care of your child for a minute while you go take care of yourself. We have a serious lack of a true nurturing village around caretakers, mothers and fathers. So moms tend to take it all on themselves, and our self-care goes by the wayside, and our bodies start to break down. We start to have dental problems. We have either weight gain in an unhealthy way, or we have health problems. We lose weight because we're not eating enough and we're running ourselves ragged. It can be, which so hard for moms, because then if you're losing weight and you look great because you're getting thinner, then you get praised for it. And if you're gaining weight because breastfeeding doesn't take the weight off like you thought it would, or you're eating too much junk because you're not sitting down for a nice balanced meal, or you're not taking care of yourself in your movement and taking walks and going on your workout or whatever activity you like to do. If you don't take care of yourself, things will start to break down and it will affect you and your relationships and how you are parenting your child. So learn how to ask for help and take care of yourself with true self-care. Another way that self-care was taught to me was in terms of my environment. And whenever I don't take care of myself, laundry piles up or clutter piles up, expenses and finances become a mess. I don't take care of the things that I really need to take care of because I think it's not as important as taking care of my child. right? So there's other ways that you need to take care of yourself or ask for help to get it taken care of for you. Um, and then the third and final lesson for today's video is to learn how to regulate your own nervous system. It was definitely needed when I was going through pregnancy and the birth trauma I experienced with having my son in the NICU and the C-section, and into sleep deprivation and handling when my son wouldn't go to sleep or he wouldn't get settled, and into toddlerhood. And now that he's 4.5, all the parenting strategies I thought would work like magic, I realized I had to use my tools big time on regulating my nervous system. I used to think that because I was already trained as a life coach, that I was good. I was done. I didn't need to like constantly retrain because I should know this already. And that also hindered me from asking for help from my coach on how to mentally and emotionally handle all these challenges that I didn't know that I would have a hard time with. I've always loved children. I always wanted to be a mother. I've babysat a million kids. I used to be a daycare teacher. I thought this would come so naturally. And turns out I was triggered all the time on a daily basis, from my own childhood trauma, from trauma in my adulthood with certain relationships. Every time my son would cry, that people pleaser in me would just want to fix it. And I couldn't. It was really challenging. I started to feel like a failure. In my marriage, I was still people pleasing and I thought I was over it, but it was clear as day looking back that I was so much a people pleaser. And when things would go awry, I would feel so triggered and shut down or lash out. And I found myself yelling a lot. I would let things slide, go, go, go. And then finally, boom, the fuse would be at its end and the bomb would go off. And I found myself yelling at my little toddler baby. And I knew I could not continue like that. So I really had to practice regulating my own nervous system and pausing and tapping, moving, finding the different ways to come back to presence in myself and calmness. So I've created a product, a freebie, for people to help regulate their own nervous systems that I've been using this whole time. I still use it on a daily basis because, children, 4.5-year-olds still will trigger you every day. So the cool thing about it is as you learn these tools of regulating your own nervous system and you find what works for you, over time, those triggers become less and less and less. And you can see it right when it's happening and you're like, yeah, that's not me anymore. Not today. No, thanks. And you can move on with the situation and you can react to things in a more calm way that you wouldn't have before. Say, for instance, your child, your toddler hitting you. They don't know any better. It doesn't mean they're bad. It's not a behavioral problem. They react to you. My son slapped me in the face one time as probably I think a 15-month-old. I'm remembering a specific time. And I was like, how dare you? I felt so violated and rejected and hurt, and I cried. And I was like, I can't believe my little baby is making me cry. And it was just like one of those light bulb moments, like, wow, I still have a lot of work to do with how I'm reacting to my son. There's been so many moments like that, so many little triggers that I've journaled about and really thought about and gotten coaching on, and realized that I still had a lot of things to bring up for healing from my childhood. So it's helped me on this reparenting journey that I call it, And that's, I think, one of the main things that's missing in parenting books and strategies is how to keep yourself calm when things happen and not take things personally, how to retrain your brain to see things in a different way, to not believe that you're doing everything wrong, to not believe that your kids are doing everything wrong or your partner. Um, that is the main work of my motherhood, is to decondition myself, to reparent and restructure how my brain reacts and my nervous system reacts to all the little things that happen in motherhood. So those are the top 3 things that I want every new mom to know. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please share it with a new mom. And if you need some help in this area, comment or send me a message. I'd love to help you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.